Sweeping slow motion of the bike, panning from front winglets to rear exhaust, engine rumble. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got something special, the brand new 2026 Ducati Panigale V4. This is the next evolution in Ducati's superbike line, and we're going to dig into what's new, how it rides, what it offers, and whether it lives up to the hype. If you're into high-performance machines, this one's for you. Let's get started. Background in Ducati's superbike heritage. Ducati has long been a name synonymous with high-end sport bikes, and the Panigale series in particular has represented the brand's top-tier performance machines. The Panigale V4 line began a few years ago as the replacement of the twin-cylinder era, moving into a V4 engine derived from Ducati's MotoGP and racing experience. With the 2026 Panigale V4, Ducati is continuing that legacy, but with meaningful updates that aim to push the envelope even further. You'll see that this bike isn't just a refresh, but a step forward in chassis, aerodynamics, electronics and rider experience. What's new for 2026? Cutaways of engine, swingarm, cockpit. Here's what stands out on the 2026 model. Engine displacement. According to one source, the 2026 Panigale V4 is powered by the latest generation Desmosedici Stradale V4 engine with a displacement of 1,103 cc and a peak power figure of approximately 209 horsepower at approximately 12,750 revolutions per minute. Chassis and swingarm. A big change is the adoption of a hollow symmetrical swingarm rather than the previous single-sided swingarm, and a front frame with reduced lateral stiffness to improve agility and responsiveness. Aerodynamics. Although more detailed specs are primarily for the R version, Ducati has emphasized track-inspired aerodynamic solutions, high-performance winglets and improved wind protection flow. E.g., for the V4R you get corner cytopods and larger winglets. Ergonomics and rider interface. Ducati has revised rider contact points, tank shape, seat, foot pegs so the rider can exploit the performance more fully, especially in a track context, while maintaining street usability. Electronics and tech. As you'd expect at this level, the electronics package is sophisticated. Updated ride modes, traction control, engine braking control, cornering apps, and more refined calibration for the V4 platform. Specifics for the V4R. Race brake control, engine brake control DVO. Technical specification summary. Spec sheet overs rather video of bike in motion. Here is a summary of the key specs for the 2026 Panigale V4 base version and relevant special versions. Engine. 90 degrees V4, Desmosedici Stradale, liquid-cooled, counter-rotating crankshaft. Displacement. Approximately 1,103 cc for the base 2026 Panigale V4 per one source. Power. Approximately 209 horsepower at approximately 12,750 revolutions per minute per source for the 1,103 cc model. Torque. Approximately 89.5 pound-feet, approximately equals 121 Newton-meters, at approximately 11,250 revolutions per minute for the same source. Weight. While full wet weight figures aren't uniformly published for the base model in all sources, some detail is available for other versions. For example, the 2026 Panigale V4R lists 186.5 kilograms wet, no fuel for certain markets. Suspension, brakes. High-end Öhlins Brembo components in the top versions, revised geometry and chassis elements across the range. What this tells us is, this machine sits clearly in the elite superbike category, with credentials to match its looks. Design and aesthetics. Close-ups of fairing, color options, cockpit layout. Visually, the 2026 Panigale V4 is unmistakably Ducati. Sharp lines, aggressive front end, signature winglets, fairings and a posture that screams performance. But the update brings refinements. The front end features refined winglets and aerodynamic elements aimed at increasing downforce and stability at high speed, lean angles. The bodywork is sculpted to provide both function and form. Better rider ergonomics, better airflow, more compact packaging. For example, the redesign of tank and seat fit aims to increase rider control under acceleration and braking. The cockpit is more rider-focused. Minimal distractions, high-resolution display TFT with full ride mode integration, premium materials and finishes. Color and special editions also play a role. Ducati's penchant for limited editions, for example the Panigale V4 Lamborghini version, underscores the exclusivity of the range. For someone filming a YouTube piece, be sure to capture the bike standing still from multiple angles: front, side, rear, as well as while in motion, track or controlled road, and highlight the small details: badging, winglets, suspension units, exhaust that make the design special. Riding experience and performance expectations. Onboard with rider, lean angle shots, acceleration launch. While we don't yet have exhaustive long-term test data for the 2026 model, the available information in Ducati's claims allow us to set expectations and comment on the likely riding experience. Acceleration and top speed. With approximately 209 horsepower and lightweight construction, you can anticipate blistering acceleration and high top speed figures. The special V4R models claim even higher performance, for example, handling and chassis feel. With the swing arm redesign, hollow symmetrical, reduced frame lateral stiffness and more refined geometry, the bike is designed for sharper response, better corner entry precision, and greater agility. That means less effort from the rider to push faster, which is a major benefit for track use. Ergonomics. The revised rider contact points, tank, seat, pegs will contribute to feeling more connected, especially under hard braking or acceleration. This is a clear shift toward making the bike more usable under aggressive riding conditions. Electronics and control. The advanced electronics suite will support the engine and chassis so that the bike is both more forgiving on street and more capable on track. That means stable behavior under power, less intrusive rider aids when you want to push, and improved feedback when leaning hard. Track versus street. While this bike is road legal, it clearly has strong track DNA. If you ride on circuit days, the 2026 Panigale V4 should shine. On the street you'll still get spectacular performance, but you must also respect the limitations: traffic, road surface, legality. For your video you might want to include a section where you test a few things: 0 to 60 or relevant metric, cornering feel, braking performance, feedback from the rider, ergonomics, wind, screen effect, and then compare how it feels versus previous generation Panigale if you have footage or reference, or versus competitor bikes. Variants and special editions. Shots of base model versus S versus R versus Lamborghini edition. Ducati offers several variants in the Panigale V4 family, and for 2026 the differentiation remains important. The base Panigale V4 is the entry point. High performance, but fewer of the ultra-premium components: suspension, wheels, electronics, of the top versions. The V4S, where available, brings upgrades like electronically controlled Öhlins suspension, lightweight components, premium finishes. The V4R is the homologation model for racing and track focus. In the 2026 version you get MotoGP-derived technology, the 998cc Desmosedici Stradale R, in some markets, corner cytopods, race gearbox, etc. Limited or special edition models. For example the Panigale V4 Lamborghini, a collector's special with unique livery, carbon fiber, dry clutch, illustrates how Ducati pushes exclusivity and performance combined. In your video you could outline, if you were choosing between these variants, which one suits which rider. Track-focused versus street-focused, budget versus exclusivity, etc. That gives your audience context. Market position in competition. Side-by-side shots of Panigale with competing superbikes. Where does the 2026 Panigale V4 sit in the market? It is undoubtedly in the high end of the superbike class, competing with other performance-minded machines. Some commentary. The price, where published, is at a premium level, reflecting the level of componentry, performance and brand.